Welcome to part two of our podcast with Alex Schlinsky. Hope you enjoy it. Tell me a little bit about why you decided to be a coach, though. In all honesty, that would be a beast. I don't know if I'd be able to do it because if you see somebody not putting forth the effort, I might get a little bit grumpy with that.
Yeah, I still do get grumpy with that for sure. I think the concept is you can't like force the wait, what is it? Like you can't force the camel or the horse, or you can force the camel to the water, but you can't force it to drink, right?
Something along those lines, yeah.
Along those lines. One of our things is we hired, this coach, one of our clients who worked with us for 3 years because we've been in business 9 years. It's a long time. We hired a client that worked with us for 3 years, who then sold her agency. Her name is Belle. She's the best. She was required to work with the agency she sold to for I think like a year or 2 years. And as soon as her contract was up, we're like, yo, like come work with us full time. Like we want you to be here and like coach. And the thing that I told her when we hired her was like, hey, so we're really good at forcing the camels to the water, but sometimes they don't drink. I want you to drown them. That was like, put their fucking head into the water, make
Yeah,
them drink it. Either they drink or they drown. And she
yeah,
was cracking up when I told her, and she takes that stuff very seriously. Like, I'm advocating for you. I'm not going to enable you. Do it now. Like, and I love that because I think it's cool. I used to think like I used to not understand how people would do that. Like, how do you pay for coaching and not use it? How do you pay for a personal trainer and not use it? And then I had two of my own experiences. I paid for a coaching program. That was like 3,500 bucks to like learn how to get more speaking engagements because I love speaking. And then I was excited watching the webinar and purchasing, but then I didn't put the time in to like go through the course material because life got in the way. And then I got like an email, whatever, 3 months later, like, hey, your course access is gonna like end in a week or whatever. Do you want to pay this amount to be ongoing? And I realized that I had been the one to, be brought to the water, but I didn't drink. And I'm like, oh wow, like that's how easy it is to like do that, to like
yeah,
shirk the responsibility to like pay for it and not do it. And so I learned from that. And then the same thing, like I bought a personal training thing online. And I was like, by putting money in, it will force me to do the workouts that I need to do. But it wasn't enough. I didn't show up for it, which is even worse. Like putting money in and not showing up for your own health is a totally different thing than not showing up for your own wealth, right? Those are two different things because health really is your wealth. As you know, I had heart surgery 5 years ago. So like I want to prioritize health over wealth, but I don't think I do a great job of it still transparently today, which is again why I also wrote this book, The Anti-Hazardous Handbook. But the idea was, I have to learn from this. So then I hired someone in person. And then by going in person, now I have to show up for another human being. So just like learning those things has been key. But yeah, it's definitely a grumpy thing to be like, dude, I'm trying to help you. Like, do what we're doing. In terms of your initial question of like why I started or wanting to be a coach, I've always been like the loudest person in the room, the center of attention. It's not in a way of trying to be like self-righteous. I think it's just in a way of, I have two older brothers, who, gas me up a lot when I was younger. Like they can F with me, right? Because they're my
yeah,
brothers, but nobody else can.
yeah,
They would destroy, like, that's the concept. I mean, they're much older than me. So my middle brother is 7 years older than me. My oldest brother is 10 years older than me. So it's a pretty substantial difference between being a 10-year-old and having a 20-year-old brother.
yeah,
It's a huge jump.
yeah,
So I was matured much faster because they thought that would be funny to see, which, in many ways also made me like inherently the oldest in my class because pretty much everyone that I knew was the oldest and I'm the youngest. So it changed things quite a bit. And I think that just made me commanding and a leader. I was not really a good athlete at all growing up, not really my thing.
yeah,
But I think because of that, I wanted to do all the alternative ones, like leading in other ways, leading in the classroom, leading in, communication, leading in audacity, including some stupid things, like being, rude to teachers and stuff,
oh,
because
for sure.
I was a stupid kid. So I
Yeah,
think inherently as I got into the like networking model in business and seeing what the community was building, I realized that I couldn't like just be a part of a community. I needed to lead a community. And that was just something that was just a calling. It was just a calling for me and something that I had to do, and something I felt that I'd be very, very good at. And there's a very powerful experience to have self-belief without proof of that belief, meaning almost delusional self-belief that you can
yeah,
absolutely accomplish something and then achieve it, right? So, like a good alternate example is a lot of people think, like mentally, they think, especially men, like I can fight, like I can kick someone's butt, I can
yeah,
fight. And then when they get into a scenario where they actually fight, especially someone that can fight, and they get their ass kicked, which
Yeah.
inherently understands, that delusional self-confidence fades away. I
Yeah.
don't have delusional self-confidence that I can fight. I know I can't fight, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did have delusional self-confidence that I would be a great orator, that I'd be a great motivator, that I'd be a great speaker, I'd be a great coach. And then those things happened in action. And that was a really special experience to have. And filling of a cup or a yin yang that I haven't really experienced um, elsewhere in my life. A couple other examples would be like being a dad. Like I thought
Yeah.
I'd be a great dad. And then like having your kid and realizing, hopefully thinking you're a great dad. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's hard to be a great dad,
Yeah.
but that's cool. That's like really special yin yang. Much better, obviously, than being a coach.
Yeah.
And the other one was becoming a Miami Dolphins media member, like big Dolphins fan my whole life.
I'm
And like, I
sorry.
could do this. Yeah, I know it's terrible. I can do this. And then I made it happen. I became a media member in 2014 for a year from just me, just doing the work. And I thought that was like really special experience. So those are some of the thought process of like why I wanted to become a coach.
That is cool, man. You know what? You and I have a rather similar. I was the youngest of four boys. My oldest brother was 14 years older than me,
Wow.
then 12, and then another one that was 2.5 years older than me.
Wow.
But yeah, no, when you're forced to learn quick, and then they teach you all the fun words.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember being, I think it was like 6 or 7, coming home from my brother's dorm room and coming in and learning some new
Heck,
words and saying them, and
no doubt.
my mom with a wooden spoon saying, "What did you say?" And you're like,
Totally. Of course.
you're like, "Oh
100%.
no, I didn't say anything." So, but you have that opportunity of saying, you know what, I end up talking a little bit more crap than the average person next to me, just
Sure.
because we got four boys that's all that they do, along with wrestling and beating
Yeah,
the crap out of
100%.
each other.
I also felt like I had to be the loudest too, like in order to be heard, I had to be the loudest because I'm also
Yeah.
small, right? So you guys don't see on like podcasts. I'm a hashtag short king, right? So,
Oh yeah, for sure.
5'5", like I'm not a tall dude, which is hilarious, by the way, for you guys don't know, like Brian Downer, he's like 6'7", he's a
Yeah.
giant. So
Yeah.
it's hilarious see you guys next to each other. But yeah, in general, you just got to be loud, you got to be louder when you're small but mighty. That's kind
Yeah,
of
it's
my
very true. I was 5'4" until my junior year of high school. Then all of a
oh,
sudden I got up to
rough.
5'8". I got a brother who's 5'3", so I was like, oh,
Oh
oh,
no.
you're like, but
All I'm hoping for is my son's taller than me. If we can get that, I'll be really happy.
dude,
I'm
I
hoping.
hope he
Five
has the
six. Let's go, Ellie. You can do it, buddy. 5'6". Let's
I
rock, bro.
I
You
hope
got
that
this.
he is like, it has the craziest character. It gives you the biggest run for your money. I
100% he will.
I love
100%.
it. I love it. Now, transitioning into fatherhood, how long have you been a father?
So my son was born February 9th, 2021,
Okay.
117 days after my heart surgery. So best day of my life. Literally
Yeah.
best day of my life. He's the best. So this is my little dude. There's
Oh, he's cute, man.
He's the
He's
best.
cute.
Yeah, he's wonderful. He's named after our Shira's grandfather, who's a Holocaust survivor. His Hebrew name was Eliyahu, so we named him Eli. And the Holocaust survivor's English name was Alex. So it felt very apropos and felt very poignant and special. So he's the best. Being a dad is the best. Also, by far the hardest thing. Business is really, really hard for sure. It really is. I think that's probably like the biggest underlying thing that's not stated to people. Like, I feel like the grift, unfortunately, online is the expression of things are really easy, which I don't really get. I don't really get why that's the case. Like, because I feel like everyone pragmatically understands, right? That
Yeah.
like, of course, it's not easy. So why do we get tricked into the idea that it's easy? I don't really get that, but whatever. But no one does that about parenting, right? Nobody ever is like, parenting's so easy. No one has ever said that, ever.
Mm-mm.
Ever. It's
If
always
and if they do, they're a liar.
they're lying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Um, but and then but you see how hard it is, and then but how rewarding it is. Like no one makes me laugh harder. No one makes me feel feelings more. It's the best. I would think the best part of it is just getting hugs, right? It's just the
Yeah,
best thing ever. There's nothing
yeah,
better than your son and how much he loves you and watching your wife, like how much he loves your wife, and how much he loves family. Ellie does this thing. He goes, "Let's have a family hug," and he likes doing a hug with mommy, daddy. The best, it really is the best. And God willing, we'll be able to have more. But either way, just
yeah.
beyond blessed and grateful for being his dad and being a dad in general. I used to talk about that quite a bit in business prior to being a dad as a big motivational tactic. My parents and I are very close. My dad got sick when I was younger. He had a stroke when I was in high school, a freshman.
Yeah,
He's alive, thank God, which
that's
is a
good.
big blessing because the finality of death is pretty hard to deal with. And unfortunately, a lot of people's stories are not mine. You know, their dad or mom or brother got sick and then didn't recover. And
Yeah,
they might have been young, might have been 14 or whatever it may be. And
yeah,
then it's done. And it's tough. It's really hard to deal with that. So I try to just count my blessings and be very grateful for it and then try to prioritize that over work, which is hard. It's just really, really hard. It's probably the hardest thing in my life today is backing up my what my identity is, that I'm a father and husband first. But then, the math doesn't lie. Nick, it
yeah,
doesn't lie. The math doesn't lie that I put significantly more time into work. And
yeah,
it's a harsh reality. So what I try to do is not punish myself over it. I try to make incremental progress on it,
yeah.
um, to the best of my ability. But it's hard, man. That is
It is
definitely the
hard.
hardest part of being a dad. That's the hardest part for sure.
I agree. I agree. One of my favorite joys is being a father. I've got a 19-month old all the way up to a 19-month old, 5, 10, 17, and 20.
Amazing.
And my son right now, you'd be proud of him. He's 20 years old. He's doing door-to-door sales,
Hell yeah.
and absolutely killing it. But seeing my children play with each other, and he comes home and he says the little Lucy, who's named after my grandmother, go wild, and she's just going crazy dancing. It is so fun to see, and it is a joy that makes me want to work more and harder to make sure that they've got stuff that maybe I wouldn't have been able to achieve while my parents were working their butts off, right?
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
one
100%.
question that I had for you was, you had the choice, right? You've got this amazing event, the POD event. You chose Boostability. Why did you choose Boostability to be a sponsor?
Yeah, so I think the reality was, I'm looking for kind of two things with every sponsor, right? One is if I'm giving someone stage time, right? It's very special because inherently the way that we do the math on our events at POD, we call them the 3% day. I would say like every other event we bring this topic up, we didn't bring it up at this event because we did the previous one, but the concept of a 3% day is if you do the math saying that we range our events from about 9 to 12 days total per year that we're together, roughly, because we do about 3 day events, right? And maybe we do three of them, maybe we do four of them, maybe sometimes we only do two of them. But if you consider that, divide that by 365, it's like 2.2% to like 3.5%. So roughly like this 3% day. It's a very special thing. And then of the 3% day, giving someone else 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour on stage, it's very, very precious time. Very, very precious time. Um, and to me, it's my responsibility that if someone is giving us their time, meaning the patrons, the attendants, whether they paid or not, right, which we do require tickets to be paid for, I need to make sure that the people that are speaking at the event are very engaging, enjoyable, provide good context, fit our energy, aren't too pushy or salesy, provide actual value. And that's really hard to parse out if you don't have something to like prove that. Like,
Yeah,
have they spoken at another event that you went to? Can you watch them on podcasts? Are they highly recommended? And for you guys, I didn't know Boostability. I
yeah,
met you at the high level event, but it was pretty evident pretty quick that we're on the same wavelength. One of my great core skills is like the adaptability for connecting in a lot of different types of rooms. And I don't fit in every room, but I'm pretty good at fitting in pretty well. And that's clearly one of your skills as well, Nick. And so we just fit like a glove, like we were best friends in like 3 minutes, and
yeah, for sure.
it was very authentic. And so that kind of checks the box number one. Then checking the box number two is going to always be, okay, well now, is it a fiscally responsible investment for that company and for us, right? Because as we spoke about prior to recording, we don't necessarily make offers at our event for the program. We're going to probably change that moving forward now to make it more fiscally responsible for POD. But oftentimes our concept is like, we're here for the community, and then our guests, you can decide if you want to be in it instead of making a direct offer. And so for that, since we are not there to generate additional, like significant revenue. Ticket sales at 500 or $1,000 a ticket are not going to cover the cost of running a 3-day event at a nice place with nice food and fun experiences, etc. Costs a lot of money. Like
Yeah.
we're talking about anywhere from $60,000 to $100,000 on average for a 60 to 150 person event. It is very, very expensive. On top of the expense, the opportunity cost of time is extraordinary. It takes an extraordinary amount of
Yeah.
time to set it up. So then we have to make sure that they can afford to make an investment in sponsoring and we can help them make money. Because, like, I take the responsibility very seriously that if someone is trusting me with portraying their company to my community, that I'm giving them a chance to make the money back that they invest and time that they invest into it. And so boostability hit those boxes. And then the third and most important box is the value there for the audience? If the audience member is of two choices, option one is I only listen to them for this 45 1 hour minute, spiel and talk to them at the event. Did I get value from that person? Or option two is I'm going to engage with this company afterwards through financial investment and time investment. I need both of those to be checked.
Yeah.
And you guys check both of those. The content and value is exceptional. And then those that have engaged with you, and I've heard this directly, have made sales because of boostability and made money, which those check those boxes. The thing is, I only know that stuff in retrospect, and I've shared with you transparently. I will not put anyone on blast on a podcast, but of course, that has not worked out in every
Yeah.
single one. On both
Yeah.
sides, by the way. It's
Yeah.
not always easy. Oh, let's blame them. It's all their fault. No, no, of course not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I made the wrong decision. Sometimes I screwed something up. That's how it works, right? But inherently, like sometimes I have an expectation of how someone's going to do, and then they come and they're not great and they're not exciting or energetic, or the value's not there, or after the fact, I'm told that after they purchased, it wasn't ideal, which sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks. That's not what I want it to be, but it does happen. But thankfully, boostability didn't hit any of those marks. It was the exact opposite. Everyone that was there that didn't become clients loved it and want to become clients, and everyone that became clients so far have gotten results and love it and are appreciative of the connection. And that makes a win for everyone, a win for POD, a win for boostability, and a win for the clients. And that's how I try to operate, and that's why we chose boostability.
I really like it. I think almost every decision that you've made, I've appreciated. The only one that really concerns me is the fact that you chose the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, it's I was
It's
born into it, man. I didn't choose it.
oh, you didn't choose it.
I didn't choose it.
You were called. I get it. I get it. I'm from Denver though,
Bummer.
so
It's a tough life. Got to tell you, it's a tough life. Hold, podcasters, hold. It's a tough life, but fins up always, no
Oh,
matter.
dude, I love it, man. I
Always,
love it, dude. You got the shark tooth hat. I love it.
always. Oh, it's the classic. It's my
Yeah, yeah.
favorite.
You,
It's
you got
ridiculous
to
on my head because it's supposed to just be
Yeah.
on
But dude, I love the
the
Dolphins and I've loved this conversation. I really appreciate the energy that you bring to anything.
of course.
I would say if anybody were to ever ask me, you need guidance in how to run an agency, how to get started, how to sell, how to speak, I will always funnel them your way.
Thank you, sir.
You have a very eloquent way of explaining things, getting rid of the fluff and just saying how it is, which a lot of people have a hard time doing. You also, in my opinion, are humble, but at the same time, you are cocky because you've achieved some amazing things that you should be proud of.
Always
Uh,
a tough line to walk. I think for me and for anyone that's watching on that line, it's like I know what my intentions are. My intentions are not to come off as arrogant or sanctimonious. It's in order to inspire.
yeah,
And if I express the intention, it's harder for someone to misperceive. But I can't really make people perceive things the way I want to. I could just express my
yeah,
intention. And the other concept as well is that I would reciprocate the same thing about boostability. That if anyone's watching this, I'm assuming that they're either interested in boostability or they're already a client. But if you aren't on either of those spectrums and you want to hear this, I think it's important to understand like the benefit of having a white label company that not only can deliver the product, because that's the baseline of the service, right? The baseline of a product of white label service is I sold SEO service to a client. I need someone to deliver upon that at a profitable rate for me. That you guys do that, but you take it two steps further in a very substantial way that really differentiates boostability from the market because there's a bajillion white label companies of size and small ones, like
yeah,
small freelancers, right? And the two big factors are having sales support, which is massive. I mean, absolutely massive. That is a huge, huge factor. And then also account management, the amount of money saved by having account management support, and the amount of money gained by having sales support. I mean, th those are unbelievable differentiating factors for boostability. And I've seen firsthand from my clients the results that they're getting. So I would
Mhm.
strongly, strongly recommend them. And as I've sent over a couple people your way this week, especially for someone that's either one, venturing into this industry new, or someone that wants to add SEO. Because SEO, I think, has fallen out of favor a little bit as a standard offer due to shiny objects. But the reality is, like, for long-term marketing and scalability for any company, there's not a better service than it. There's just not. It's just, are you capable of selling someone on a tree planting service when we live in a society that needs to have a 30-second TikTok before you switch it, or have to go to Blaze Pizza to get a 3-minute pizza because you
Yeah.
can't wait 6 minutes for pizza? And it's harder. But guess who sells it for you? You guys do. So I think it's interesting. SEO pays in the long run. It's one of those things that you always wish you did 3 years ago, including me. So
Yeah.
it's
I agree.
that's why I'm always recommending boostability.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Well, you have an amazing day. I appreciate the time that you've put into coming into this podcast. Please let us know what your next steps are. If anybody wants to reach out to you, how do they get in contact with you?
Yeah, you can always reach me on email at alex@prospectingondemand.com. You can go to our website, prospectingondemand.com. We run events. You'll see us. You can also go to antihustlershandbook.com if you want to grab my book. But yeah, any of those ways are ways to catch me. You can find me online until one day I just eventually hermit and just focus on my son only, which what will be some point. Some point.
I
It'll
can't wait
happen.
to see that, man. And
It'll happen.
he's gonna live a great life. But thank you
All right.
so much, Alex. You have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.